Hello everyone. So today in this video we will learn what is Maven and how to create a Maven project. So what is Maven? Maven is a powerful build automation tool which is primarily used for Java projects. So with Maven you can define your project's dependencies and configuration in a XML file which is called project object model POM. The POM describes the project structure, it describes its dependencies, build process, and other related information. So, before Maven, when we used to create a Java project, we used to uh, download all these jar manually. So, for example, for Selenium, how we used to do, we used to download the Selenium jar, we used to place in the Selenium project, and even for the drivers also, like whatever driver we were using, we have to download those driver manually and then place in your project structure. So what was the issue with that approach? So the first issue was that it was a manual process. You have to download any kind of dependency or driver or whatever you need in your project, you have to download those things manually. Another thing is that maintaining the different version was very difficult when you have to download manually and place in your project. For example, is 4 or 5 members are working on a project. I'll give you an example of the browser driver. Driver is compatible to your browser version. If I'm using a version 11, then my driver version also should be 11. And if my browser version got changed on my machine, I have to download a compatible version for that driver. Now we are multiple people working on the project. I have version 11, another team member is having version 12. I have downloaded the dependency of 11 and place in the project. Now the same project, if another team member will try to execute, they will get an error because their driver version and browser version was different. In that case, again they had to either change their browser version or change the driver version. In that case, if they change the driver version, it won't work for the other team member. So it was forced to have the same kind of infrastructure for all the team members who are using the same project. But if you use Maven, this is not the case. It will download all the dependencies, uh, all the libraries, whatever you need in your project. You just need to mention the version in your pom.xml and it will automatically download it, so everyone will have the same kind of version for all the libraries. That is the advantage, and it automatically build your project, it compiles your project, so it has lot of other features which is provide. That's why Maven is very popular. So now we'll start how to create a Maven project. So I have already opened my Eclipse. I'll click on that, create a Maven project. I can create project from here or from the file, new, and then Maven project. I can create project from here as well. So right now I'll create a simple project. I'll click on that, and then it is use default workspace location. This checkbox is by default checked. So if you want to create a project in your default workspace, when we install the Eclipse, that time we defined our default workspace. And if you want to create a new workspace or maintain a separate workspace, then you can click on browse and then give the location here. I'll go with the default workspace. I'll click on next. So here it is asking couple of information which we need to fill. It is group ID. Group ID is like your uh, organization name or unit name you can give, or your business name you can give here. For example, I'll give here home dot automation rail, and then artifact ID is my project ID, Selenium demo. I'll give this as the project name, and then I'll click on finish. As soon as I click on finish, you can see that it has created a project here. It's a Maven project. So if you see that it has created a pom.xml. pom.xml is your page object model file. So it is having your project related information like group id and the project id, whatever we have given, it is having all that information. So now I'll explain you the project structure. So default it creates couple of folders. So the first one is like source main java, the source main resources, and then source test java, source test resources. So basically when we create a project, this kind of a structure we follow. And in source main java, here we write our core java classes related to the functionality. We write here java logic. And then we have source test java inside the test folder. Inside this source test java folder we write our all the test cases. So when we write our test cases, it does not mean we write the whole logic inside that. So we just write test cases here, and the background logic of those test cases, like in generally in test cases we call the different functions the steps which we perform, but the logic of those function we write in this main java folder. And then source test resources, any resource which would be useful for our test case, for example test data, any kind of input file that we will use to pass in our test case, that we will keep inside this folder. And source main resource, any kind of resource which would be related to your project, for example configuration file or any kind of other resource which would be useful for your project, will keep inside the source main resource folder. And you can see that it has created a JRE library. We had already configured our JDK. When we install Eclipse, by default it map our JDK with the Eclipse. So that's why we can see all these JRE libraries here. So now, how we will download the Maven dependencies and why we need it. So now this is a Maven project, right? Now we are planning to use we are planning to use Selenium libraries here, because we are going to learn Selenium. We would be doing practice on Selenium. So we need a Selenium library. So we need a Selenium Java dependency here. So I'll go to Google. I will type Maven repository. So all dependency you will find inside the Maven repository. So this is the website, official website for the Maven repository. I will type here Selenium Java. So you can see that it is showing lot of other dependencies as well. So I will click on that Selenium Java. So here it is showing the dependencies with the different version. Each and every dependency comes with a different version, right? They keep enhancing, they keep adding the things on those libraries. So those comes up with a different version. So the latest one is 4.9.1. I will click on that. And then if you see that the same dependencies is available, the same dependency is available for Maven, it is available for Gradle, and it is available for different other tools as well. So right now we are using Maven, so we will copy the Maven dependency. So before that I have to add a dependency tag here. So this is dependencies. And then I will paste that Selenium Java dependency inside that. I will save this. As soon as I save, it start building this project. You see in the bottom? Yeah, and now it's downloading those dependencies. It is showing download source and Java doc. So now you can see that this Maven dependency folder is here. See, so it has downloaded all these Selenium Java libraries. Here you can see that it is downloaded. So now if I click on right click on the project and then click on build path, configure build path. If I click on libraries, Then you can see here, it is showing two type of libraries. One is GRE libraries and another is a Maven dependencies. This Maven dependencies, we just downloaded it. So you can see that where it got downloaded. It is downloaded inside my folder, and inside that it has created a .m2 folder. This .m2 folder is very important. So whenever, sometimes it happens that we have downloaded another version of the dependencies, and then dependency is not working. So if that dependency is already present in .m2 folder, it will not download it again. So it does not download the same dependency again and again. So then what we do in that case? So this is the m2 folder, right? Inside this is a repository, and then all the repositories are here. So it will show you with the version also. So this is auto common, this is one of the library, and it has downloaded the version .1.2. Sometimes it happens as per your project requirement, you have to download a different version of a particular dependency. In that case, if I already have 1.2, it will not download it 1.2 again. So in that case, what we do, we open this m.m2 folder, and then whatever of dependency you are having issue, we delete that particular folder, and then we came to pom.xml, we save it, and then again is it start building the project, or manually you can build the project again. Then it will download that dependency. That's how we resolve these dependencies issues. Sometimes if a particular dependency is not working, so you can download that folder from the .m2 folder and build your project again. It will download the dependency again. So that's all for this session. I hope you liked it. We will meet again in next video. Thank you.